Hey copper nerds, let's do a deep dive into the Sheldon 26. '26 is a cool coin. It's one of the ones that I talked about recently that have some very cool die breaks. The 26 and the 32, fairly common varieties with cool diagnostic breaks. This is going to be much like the 25, same obverse. It is the divided date obverse, which after the hair details, which were shallow engraved, after the dies are resurfaced, a lot of those hair details disappear, and you've got these severed locks, which really were engraved complete, but when the dies were resurfaced, you lost some of the shallower engraving detail, which leaves a lot of holes in the hair. And I don't know, it's an easy one to pick out, but yeah, I don't love the way it looks. I like it because it's ridiculous. It doesn't look good, but it is very easy to pick out. So that's a fairly easy coin to attribute just because of the incomplete looking hair. All right, let's look at the diagnostics. 94 appears to lean left, and the pole is slightly further than average from the bust. Okay. On the reverse, high leaf position next to the T in cent is diagnostic. See it sticking up there? Perfect die is very rare. Your first crack appears through the E in states. Then you get the one through the S. Sheldon 32 also has this crack through the S in states. And when you see this crack through the S in states, all you have to do to know if it's a 26 or a 32 is see if there's a crack here. If there is, it's a 26. If there's not, it's a 32. Numerator further left than is found on reverse J. Which one is reverse J? Oh, is that going to be on 32? Yeah, so that's the 32 reverse. Okay, that's our basic diagnostics. Let's check out Breen's Encyclopedia next. Going to 26. Is this going to be way out of sequence again? I'll bet it is. 28, 29, we got to go past like 31, and then NC8, and then 25, and then 26. Move you out of the way. And let's see, incomplete hair. Yeah, that's because, again, I haven't read it anywhere, but I can just tell from looking at it. It's from resurfacing the die where they were engraved very shallow. Maybe there's something mentioning that here. And then hook from of. We'll see what that means. All right. Obverse 11. Oh yeah, we saw a lot of clash mark related die states in the Sheldon 25. Here we go. Reground to remove clash marks with some curl points severed. Large hollow area in the hair between the third and fourth curls. Again, from resurfacing the die. Guaranteed. They're not saying it, but that's what it is. All right, flaw at the left side of. Hook or claw shaped. Yeah, that must be it. Points to the triple leaf are in a straight line right there. Talking about the berries. The die states we'll talk about more in heck. See if there's anything of importance on the next page. These were, yeah, let's see. Some people called this the severed hairs variety, and then this was probably the variety that was the bulk of the 24,000 large cents delivered on March 26 of 1794. An example with the edge blundered 100 for a dollar is in the collection of Dan Trollin, who we've talked about a lot on this channel. He's one of my mentors. I don't know if he still has that one or not, but I guarantee he had it in the edge registry that I now maintain of all the edge letter errors. So that one is in there somewhere. This one does not have any blundering. It is fairly late die state on the reverse. We're gonna jump into noise next, and then we'll look at heck and talk about that die state on the reverse a little bit. Okay. If you guys saw me slide that coin off earlier, which it looked like I did, I actually lifted and threw it off a little bit onto the soft background there, but I don't know. I figure someone might see that and give me a hard time about it. Don't worry about it. I'm almost a professional. Okay. We have got the widely spaced date separated, which again is my favorite diagnostic there. This is a beautiful example. Look at those cracks. Just a nice brown surface on that one. All right, the die has now been lapped. Yes. Weakening the detail and accentuating the severed hair strands. Yes. Which are much weaker than on the 25 and NC8. The date is wide, especially great distance between 7 and 9. Yes. The 4 slants to the left. Pole is a little further away from the bust. Hair terminates at 7 points. Below the highest point are 2 severed strands of hair faintly seen. Got it. Die lapped. Die chips at some of the curls. Reverse. This coin is recognized easily by its reverse die breaks. Yes, it is. Talks about that little curved projection from the left side of the O and of. And we go through some die states. Again, we'll look at those in heck, but we'll look at some pictures of them here. That's got some pretty significant damage happening to it. Otherwise a nice coin. Lapped. Oh, okay, so we're looking at the hair details. See how they're weakly there still, and then, oh, they're disappearing. And oh, they're really disappearing. Okay, let's go to the next page. Oh wait, we gotta look at those reverse cracks, because that's one of the cooler things. See, it's forming through E before S. Pretty heavy through E there. All right, we've got less hair detail, and that crack through S is showing up. The crack through S is getting bigger as we have even less hair detail. And then monster crack. This is the state that mine is in. And lots of hair detail missing. That's cool. All right, condition census. Look at that. We got 4 that are in mint state. And then a couple that are AUs, making up our first 6. Just get 2 pages. More AUs. And by 12th place, we're still at a net XF 40. So lots of nice ones out there. Last, we're gonna jump into heck. Okay, index. Page 75. All right, here we are. Hair detail, fairly complete there on the 20. Well, you can see where it's starting to go away though, right? That's where the severed locks are. You can actually see what you would call severed locks instead of just the crazy missing like alopecia or something going on later on with the big hair spots missing. So die state 1 looking good, but while the clash marks were removed from the 25 clashing, you see the severed hair locks appearing, and the reverse is looking good. There's that little hook-shaped dealy bob by the O. Okay, some die clashing. Let you look at them there. Let's see. You can see a bunch of hairlines, the cap, more hairlines, nose, chin, pole, the gap between the pole and the bust line. Those are all clashing there. More clashes. Pretty well illustrated there. Chuck always uses some good photos. Die state 3, same as 2 for the obverse. For the reverse, the cracks happening there at the E. See that little hook there at 2 next to the O and of. What's happening at 4? Another little crack. Cool. More clash marks coming up at die state 4. See more clashing on the reverse there. And let's jump to the next page and check out some of these cracks as they get wild and crazy. Okay, now we see it coming through the S. And then really coming through the S at die state 6. And at die state 7, that crack is getting really fat. Die state 8, we got very little hair left, and then look how big that crack is getting as it goes through the wreath from the S. Very cool die progression. I really enjoy the reverse die on this one. Between it and the 32, I like the 32 just because of the cud that forms on the obverse and some of the cap clash marks that you'll see on it. But 26 and 32, again, two of my favorite affordable varieties that have huge diagnostic features, die breaks, cuds, clash marks, all that. So I have another video on the 26 and 32. Feel free to check that one out. What we're gonna do for now is I'm gonna show you a couple of pictures of this coin. And then on the way out, you're gonna see some really nice examples from PCGS. And I will look forward to your thoughts in the comments below. Feel free to stop down there and scold me for not sliding this across the pages, even though maybe I did a little bit. I don't know. I'm not maybe as careful as some of you are with their coins, but I do appreciate and enjoy them and like showing them off. So there's pros and cons. Okay, comments, we'll argue there. And then I will catch you in the next one. Peace.